Amazing. And so talk a little bit about the character you chose for Box of Bones. You wrote that in conjunction with Aizi Jama Everett. Uh,
Yeah. So I met Ayize through a mutual friend at her home her and her husband's home in Berkeley. And Lee Rayford and Michael Cohen and their family. And so Ayize was there. We hit it off, and over a period of time, it was like, man, we should work on something together, right? And so I had some ideas percolating. This book was at first it was called Shadow Box actually, and yeah, and after a while we decided like, hey, let's do a like kind of a shout out to like Henry Dumas's Ark of Bones, was a short story by actually he kind of inspired like Toni Morrison a little bit actually, as a surrealist writer, was killed tragically, by off-duty transit cop. It just sounds so familiar.
mm,
So we started thinking about like, well, who is our main character, and I was like, you know what, you really don't see a lot of like secret characters who are like black women, and you definitely don't see secret characters, that are black queer women, from the
mhm.
South. So we were like, you know what? Lindsay Ford is a black queer woman from the South who is working on a PhD, at Berkeley actually, and
Ironically.
she's studying folklore. So it's her background, so she's like African American studies and like folklore, that kind of stuff, right? Because she's been obsessed with this box that her grandfather told her about. He was a bluesman, blind bluesman, and we kind of allude to the fact that she's from down south. We don't necessarily say which part of the South. It's like the South as an idea,
Right, yeah,
And
for
so,
sure.
yeah. So what's interesting about it is that most of the stories are taking place through interviews and like secondhand information because she's in the field doing her field work and actually getting ready to probably write her dissertation and stuff like that, right? And over a period of time, she's talking to her partner Hatima. They're very much in love. Hatima is really supportive, but she also is like, hey, she keeps her in line, like, hey, you need to check in, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
And you try to see like as she starts interacting with this box that she has some type of like spiritual connected connection to it that she doesn't understand. And so little by little, the box becomes like this antagonist, the secondary like antagonist character, and it kind of spirals into like the box actually becomes like central, and then the conflict between Lindsay and the box becomes like way more apparent and raw by the end of it. So
No,
just
it's an amazing arc. I was just saying the storyline is just an amazing arc.
thank you. Yeah,
Um,
I really enjoyed the way it turned out. You know, it's um, it's a label. I was just talking to a user today. We need to do more with it. Because we actually have together with you and other collaborators created like a really big like story world.
yeah.
It is like 300 page, collection of work, and scholarship, over the last like, decade or so.
No, it really made me think I was watching Lovecraft Country all over again, the series. And
Yeah.
it really kind of has that same heavy vibe, but at the same time, this kind of light, playful, almost Indiana Jones kind of feeling to
Yep,
it.
because she's a secret character like Indiana Jones. Exactly. Right.